back, guys, to Matter of Opinion. It's your boy Rated Dawn.
Walls P here.
And we got Tawana back on the court, you know what I mean?
Hey guys, what's up?
So today's episode is going to be about the usage of the N-word. Now, what sparked this video was a video was sent to Ray, and he forwarded it to me, and we took a look at it. It basically forged a conversation of the N-word. Take a look.
An honor roll student. He was hanging around his teacher's classroom door in December. The teacher told him to sit down, and the teacher says that Keyshawn used the N-word first.
And I just kind of was stunned a second. Well, then get away from the door. And I repeated the same insult because that's sort of what I've been trained to do.
The school district says that is not what they trained English teacher Paul Dawson to do.
He tried to say I said it, and I didn't say it, and no one else in the class knows that I said it because I didn't.
Dawson says that students use the slang version of the N-word at Valley High School all the time. He says N-I-G-G-E-R is a racial slur, but says that students use N-I-G-G-A as often as they'd say dude or hey man. And Dawson says as much as he does not like the word, he still used the slang version to feel more comfortable with black students.
Why is this word used so frequently? So I just don't understand it, and I'm trying to understand it. I need help. Yes, I've used it. I admit it. I put the H on it to emphasize it's. Can you lend a pencil?
What kind of example are you setting for your students if you use a word that you don't want them to use?
Upon reflection, that's not good. I will never say any form of, I'm cured of that.
So now, my first question on this topic is, when did it become okay for the usage of the N-word?
On my personal take, I think it's when hip-hop started to use the word, and most people fail to realize, but the actual term change from N-I-G-G-E-R to N-I-G-G-A was done by white people as a way to not come off too offensive to blacks. If you go to any region in South Africa, they will kill you on the spot for using that word. It's very offensive. It's a cultural thing down there. So it's like for you to, for that to be okay over here just shows how much influence the media and, music and just anything along those lines have had an influence on the culture diversity of America.
So then does that make it seem, so does that take it to where it's environmental, or like it's a product of our environment, like we using it because everybody's using it, or it's just our ignorance?
I believe it's a little bit of both. I would say ignorance because people think that black people are the ones that did the name change and letter change and everything, and I also feel that it's environmental because, hey, if you have all your favorite black superstars, singers, and all of that saying it, why can't you? You get what I'm saying?
I mean, I get all of that, but when it comes to environmental, I feel like once enough people do it and nobody checks it, it becomes okay. Even when you talk to certain age group individuals, like the teenagers today, they're just like, oh, it's just a word. But they don't even know the history behind it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You go to an older, early 20s, mid-20s, some of them, if they're in the street life, they see it as just another word. But if they're not in the street life, they're like, yo, no, that's offensive. You know what our ancestors went through? That is not right. Like, I don't even like it. And I hear people use it, it pisses me off. And the older generation said the same thing. So when it comes to environmental, it's beyond just music. It's where you grow up at. It's the streets. It's school environment. It's all of that. Like,
here's my take on things, because I hear everything both of you guys are saying. Well, guys and women are saying. But the fact that it's been changed to a form of endearment, can that be taken into consideration?
No.
Because here's the thing, because I hear a lot of people say, like, women call each other bees, Or if you be like,
I was gonna bring that up. That was my next example.
Or if you be like this, yo man, Ray, you a crazy MF. You get what I'm saying? That's a very derogatory statement, but people accept it
because in the manner in which it's presented. Which I understand what you're saying. So even with the endearment, it's like, okay, in the manner in which it's presented, it wasn't to be offensive.
Well,
but it comes off offenses to other people.
Do you know that the word dude was actually a negative term and it changed into a positive saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
But that's over years of, you know, people kept wanting to use it and all of that. But still, at the end of the day, you have to realize that the root meaning, when you look up the word, it still goes back to that slavery.
Do you believe by changing a few letters, it changed the word dramatically?
No,
not
at all, because it's still a root meaning at the end of the day. No matter, you could look it up, you could Google it, it's not even going to be in an Urban Dictionary. That's how you know. When a word is not in Urban Dictionary and it's not changed to the definition that you guys are saying it's supposed to be, that's when you know.
No, it's wrong. Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, so if you call a person of the other race the N-word or a racial slur, is it okay for them to use the N-word back at you?
Well, I mean, I don't. It depends. For me,
if you're using a racial slur to them, they're gonna use one right back. That's just common sense.
Yeah, that's common sense. But also it depends on which racial slur you use, because every ethnicity has their own racial slurs. Like Spanish people, you call them it's on. It's fighting time. If you call an Asian person a they're automatically gonna want to fight you. Like every ethnic group or race has their own special word that's very insulting to them.
But here's my question to you: how can you tell the word whatever you use is not very insulting to them? You may think it's not insulting, but to them it's very insulting. Like to that individual, that word is insulting.
Well, you have to, first of all, you have to have heard that word from somebody of that ethnic group saying it, or somebody else saying it. You know, and you have to, it's mostly common sense and understanding. Like, you should have...
Let me throw it at you at another angle.
Right? I was gonna say, but people lack common sense every day.
No, but here's another thing.
That is
true. Here's another thing. Somebody may find it very offensive if you call them stupid. Because they're like, I'm not stupid, I'm well educated. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, and so I have to agree because I've been in that.
How can you know what's very offensive to somebody?
Right. Like, there's just some things we should not just do. Like, there's just some things, no matter how bad a situation is, there's just something you should not do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you should know, if you want to embark and call somebody a racial slur or be disrespectful, the possibility what can come back. And whoever's using that racial slur should know it's a possibility to get it.
Put it like this. If you come to rob me with a knife, right? And then I pull out a gun, how you going to say, bro, you went too far? I got a knife. Why you got a gun? You can't tell me how to defend myself. Just like if you run up to a cop with a knife, they pull out a gun and shoot you. If they felt threatened, you can't tell them what was their level of how they felt they were
to protect themselves.
To protect themselves.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, for us to be talking about this word, I remember there was times where I've used it with these kids. And it's crazy because that one word made them kids trust me so much.
Yeah.
It made me, like, as much as I hate the word,
because it's familiar to them,
I had to really stoop to a level to try to save them. And I used it, and it was like, oh my gosh, she understands us.
Yeah, because it's familiar. It's familiar territory.
Like, but look how crazy that is. Yeah. That should not be okay. But I should be able to talk to a child, and a child genuinely know that that's clear. But the fact that I have to really get dirty with them a little bit to really let them know I'm serious. I'm not playing with you.
But you know what though? You get some people who you try and talk to them regular, they're not listening. But as soon as you throw a curse in it, now you got their full attention.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's familiar because that's how they was at some point raised. That's how they communicate. Yeah. That's how they communicate. Yeah. And it's crazy. But then, like we always talked about, even in past videos, is at what point was that okay? It was never okay, but they made it okay because that's what they had. Mm-hmm. You gotta explain some of this stuff. They're still kids. They still have emotions. We're human. We're human.
I will say, even though that's the way that you reach out to them, it doesn't make it right though.
It don't. But that's what I said. It doesn't make it right at all. And that's what I said. I'm like, dag, I had to go that far. Yeah. I wasn't happy with myself for a while. But people was like, but did you get to them? It does not matter. It's still not okay. I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm not okay that I had to stoop that far to get to them.
All right. So the next question is, should only blacks have authority to use the word?
Nobody should have authority to use that daggone word.
Well,
it's just like you said, it's not even in the Urban Dictionary.
Okay,
Just stop using
that's
it.
true. But let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. People are going to use the word until something is done to abolish the word. So to speak.
That's true.
So, in a logical sense, like that, thinking like that, should blacks be the one who are authorized to use the word?
Well, because the blacks nowadays, in general, the black community is promoting it as the word means brotherhood or friend or a term of endearment. So, every term of endearment is for use in a dictionary.
That's true.
So you can't specifically say, hey, this word is in the dictionary or not in the dictionary, but you can't use it. Because it's still a word at the end of the day. You still have letters. It's you feel me? You can't sit there with a straight face and be like, okay, because you're this color, you can't use this word. That's the same as if white people was like, oh, every other long word in the dictionary, you can't use it because it was wrote by a white person in it. Like,
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's technically not even your word.
Explain to me how you feel being called the N-word by a black person as opposed to a white person.
I mean, for me, I don't really see it as any difference because you're still using the same term regardless if what racial color or ethnicity you are. Mm-hmm. So I'm still gonna be like, hey, yo, you gotta relax on that. Like, that's not something you should be saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not around a lot of people that really say it. So, but it's crazy because I have been around white people or other race who have used it. And even in a joke of matter, it's really funny because they look at me like, like, is she gonna react? Is she gonna say something? So it's wrong. So why are you doing it? Yeah. I don't. For me, I just rather nobody use the word. Yeah. Honestly,
see, it doesn't bother me whether a white or black person call me an N-word. But what I do realize is if I'm around a white person and I'm like, they hear me say, if a white person used the N-word, whatever, depending on how they're using it, it doesn't bother me. I'll always notice, like, they'll say it once just to get my reaction, like, through conversation. And after that first time, they, like, try and use it more fluently.
Like, they comfortable? Is he comfortable? Or are we not comfortable?
It doesn't bother me. But if you go say it in a negative way, then I have a problem with it. So
because I feel like that's what we're taught at some point, that it's negative, period. Mm-hmm. And it was to degrade us, belittle us, put us down. It was to take our own identity from us. So when you say it the negative way, you put us in a space of ownership.
I don't care if you're a white person, you listen to hip hop. I don't care who you are. You say the N-word.
Yes.
I'm not beat.
Yes.
When you're at home listening to the music and no one's there, you're not gonna tell me that you
don't say it.
Every N. No. You use it.
Yep.
That's just my take on it.
It's always how you use it, but does not make it right. No matter how you want to switch it around, flip it around, spell it, flip it upside down, read it upside down, doesn't make it right.
So this brings to my next question. Do you feel our ancestors would agree it mean a term of endearment?
Hell no. Our ancestors will light that behind. So.
First of all, they go get the cotton whip with us. That's not happening. After all they suffered, you must be bugging.
But here's the thing. I remember I was watching Fat Joe on Vladtv or whatever.
Okay.
Vladtv. And he was like, yo, was that Reverend? The one that lost all the weight.
Nah,
the one that was in Newark.
I
think Sharp.
Yeah, Sharp.
He was like, yo, he was fighting to do away with the N-word and everything like that. Like, fighting, saying like, basically trying to put a law or something like that to ban the word or whatever. And then Fat Joe was like, when he was at some place, whatever, and he was there, he was like, the first thing your man said was, like, he was like, Fat Joe? He was like, yeah, I know Fat Joe. That's my N. What's up? And so it's like, you fighting to get rid of the word, but you're turning around and using it. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know if all our ancestors would, like, I would say most of them would, But
I agree to some degree, but I feel like that's environmental because he's been around so many people.
Yeah, but
because if you go back, listen, Alshon's been around for a long time.
Oh, I know.
A long time.
I know that.
Ancient.
He done walked with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And just for you saying that was in an interview, he said, I'm pretty sure anybody could have crucified him to the wall. Because the generation he walked with will look at him like, have you lost your mind?
Where's born?
So I get that he used it, but I don't think he used it subconsciously to know that he used it.
Yeah.
Reverend Al Sharpton, this is, and I shouldn't be telling you this, but Reverend Al Sharpton made a whole campaign against the word.
It also depends on the situation because he could have said it in a joking manner.
I swear to my mother drops dead. The first time I ever met Reverend Al Sharpton was with Don King, and Don King said, Reverend Al, do you know Fat Joe? He said, how am I gonna not know the realest in New York? It's the first thing he told me ever in the history of mankind.
Like for the
situation.
But
to me, it's still being used.
Yeah.
And my thing is a difference from having a conversation and realizing you said it and then like in the back, like I'm pretty sure after that interview, depending on who his loved ones are, his close friends, they're like, yo, you really did that. I'm pretty sure he heard it. I'm not gonna sit here and say, not for a second, nobody said nothing. But I'm pretty sure somebody said something because he walked with legends. He helped legends. He paved the way away from that for many reasons. You see what I'm saying? So for him to use it, it's like, boy.
See, I can't agree with that. The reason why I can't agree with that is because even if I know I'll curse up a storm when I was younger, I always knew around kids not to do it. So if you're promoting it, that's one specific word that somebody can't just subconsciously use without knowing they use it. Like for instance, when I speak, I have a problem of saying tooken instead of took. That's an easy misstep because that's not an offensive word.
Right.
But if it's a word, I'm literally fighting to abolish this word and it slips off my tongue. I can't agree. I believe that it's just embedded in his talking and he embraced the word and used it.
Well, you have to think about it. Al Sharpton listens to rap music today.
So this is what makes me think, how many ancestors would conform to the time where it becomes acceptable?
But you also have to think about their circumstances and what they went through because their environment was different from what our environment today.
And, I feel like that's what a lot of issues is in certain families, which is why the elderly are not in people's households. Like, I feel like they moving because nowadays it's just different, and in their days, like, well, this is what it is. I'm gonna keep this going.
So, because for instance, right, my mom, the culture that they grew up in Haiti was you're supposed to only wear skirts or dress. Never pants. So my sisters never wore pants, like women just couldn't wear pants. Eventually, she broke out of that and wore pants. Like,
but did you ever ask her, only in the house though?
Wait.
Yeah, only in the house. She never wore pants outside. But she allowed my sisters to wear pants.
Is she over here? She's over here, right?
No, my mom's passed.
No, but she was over here when she was wearing pants. I'm sorry for your loss, by the way.
Yeah, she grew up there. She moved to America, like, after being married and all that.
Okay, but when did she start wearing pants? When she was over here alive? In the US? Right.
But you talking like later, like we're talking like when she passed in 2009, we're talking like in the 2000s.
She was wearing pants.
She started that she would wear pants in the house.
And I'm gonna give you the explanation for that. You see, America has very cold weather.
but she always wore gowns and stuff in the house. But that's what I'm saying, like, at what point do you just conform, even though, like, you get what I'm saying? But
not every elderly conforms.
I know not every elderly, but
they be stuck in their ways so bad. You like.
But what I'm saying is, you would have some ancestors who do. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, you would get some.
You will get some.
That's a possibility.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's a possibility.
It's definitely a possibility.
But I say 95% of them will be like, no.
Yeah.
But 5%, I could see 5% slipping through the cracks.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Those are the ones that work in the house. The Samuel Jacksons.
So in other words, light skin folks, huh? Light skin folks, huh?
Not even.
Notice he changing his tune now, right?
Not even.
We gotta look at you with the side. We gotta look at you with the side eye now.
Oh my God, I cannot. You guys are so funny. But I see what you're saying.
So, do we feel that we need to use the N-word in itself? I already pretty much know you guys are like, nah. I don't really feel we need to use the N-word.
It's not needed. Once again, it's not. I get what people are in our community try to do with it, but it's not needed. It's not something that have to be used. I mean, son was the word for the longest. You could have left it there.
See me, I say ninja. I say, what's up, my ninjas? That's what I say. What's up, my ninjas?
What's up, ninjas?
Like, my son was used, so, and I think about it, I was like, son. Like, it's crazy because I still call my brothers and them that, like, son, stop playing with me.
Yeah.
Like, they like, don't be sunning me up.
Yeah.
I will sun you in a heartbeat.
Yep. I say dude or ninjas. I say dude or ninjas.
Yeah. Or, dude too. I'm like, dude. You know what I mean? So I just feel like there's other words to be used.
Or you could just create your own word. Like,
I'm lying. I also use bro. I always use bro. I also use bro.
But that's my thing though. Like people fail to realize that these rappers say words that don't even exist and they rap all the time.
Yeah, but they're trying to create a trend so they can put on a shirt so you can buy it, so it's money.
But they're still creating words. Like we can sit down with a culture and the people and create.
We should create a word and just use it on the show all the time.
Well, yeah, I know. But I mean, think about it. Like, as far as like a lot of the slang we use now is words that like we created.
Exactly.
All right. So my question to you guys is, how do we solve the issue of using the N-word?
It starts with everyone.
Yeah.
It starts with everyone. If we have to do it all across the board, we can't just start here and just say, okay, we're not gonna hold them accountable. Like, it's holding everyone accountable at all times, at all costs, and not only keeping it to ourselves, but making it public.
Yeah.
Making it public. They made that music public. They made the word public.
I mean, it starts completely with everybody, and then it's also the media has a huge advantage, so the media would have to change.
But that's why I said by making it public, because
yeah.
once you get the media involved, it's like, okay, this is the new trend.
Yeah.
Once you get that trending going on, you can't stop the trend.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's why I said we have an impact so big on this music thing. And what's selling and what's okay that is not even funny.
It's not even just music, movies too. Like prime example, people fail to realize they're paying attention to. Like you ever watch what's that movie?
I don't know.
The Equalizer 2 with Denzel Washington. You remember that? If you guys ever go to get to that part where he's going and try to save the young kid from getting in with the gangs and stuff, you can hear the gangbangers saying the N-word in the movie.
Yeah.
Pay close attention to it. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Now I can understand if you're doing like a documentary of like slavery and stuff like that, like because in slavery like it existed, so something like that.
Yeah, when you're telling a story.
Exactly, but
so actually even before we go, you know, R.I.P. to D-Bone. You know,
Tom Tiny Lister Jr.
Oh my God, man!
Yeah,
great actor. I've seen him in about 10 to 15 movies. Like,
look,
it's
I
crazy.
still like them in No Holds Barred.
Oh man!
Bootleg as that
God.
movie was.
It was
a good movie.
It was a good movie.
Zeus.
Yeah, I can't even believe that. But
man,
what was it that he passed from? Do anybody know?
I don't know exactly what he passed from.
I'm not 100% sure. Some people were saying it was the virus. Some people were saying it was heart issues.
Yeah, it's crazy because even I forget her name, but the young lady from Babs just passed away as well from colon cancer.
Oh, wow.
Rest in peace to her.
Yeah.
They've been showing her a lot of her movies on different stations lately. They've been playing, because I just watched the Babs one the other day. Rest in peace to her, but you know, it's really interesting because a lot of these people are dying from different type of cancers, not realizing they had it. They're already in a stage that they can't really do much about. Well, rest in peace to a lot of those who passed this year in 2020. It's been a rough year for everyone. But keep your heads up.
And stay strong. And all the blessings to you and your family. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Stay safe.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Later.
Peace.
Time for me to hold it down. Time for me to break it down. Y'all cats don't wanna see me. Y'all better mind your P's and Q's.